This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where every week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, plus our latest movie or show review, and what we're getting into next. We are your host,
Cheryl.
And Jay.
All right, so on deck for trivia this week, I am going to quiz Jay. Is your mind ready?
I am.
It is Beetlejuice related, by the way. This is the movie of the week.
Okay.
Okay, so before Willem Dafoe was set to play Wolf Jackson, who's a character in Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, another actor was originally offered the role. Now, let me dwindle it down for you because you're going to have to guess who it is.
Okay.
Famed, older, white male, probably older than Willem Dafoe. Now you can guess.
Charles Dance?
Who?
No.
What's that?
No, Charles Dance from Game of Thrones.
Oh, I don't understand. Let me try again. But no.
Famed and older than Willem Dafoe. I mean, that kind of narrows it down.
It does, which is why I told you I'd give you a little hint.
Michael Caine?
No, but you in the right realm of like that
Age?
category of actor.
Oh.
Like
British?
No, in category in terms of like how popular he is.
Andy Serkis? No, he's not older than Willem Dafoe.
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking of people who've played
He
Alfred.
was in a movie earlier this year that was the highest grossing movie for a little while.
The highest grossing movie of the year for a little while.
Like when it first came out.
Christopher Walken?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Which, to be honest, now I love Willem Dafoe. And to be honest, Wolf Jackson could have been played by anybody, to be very honest. But I can see Christopher Walken in this role, for sure. And I wonder why he was like, no, thank you.
Max Shrek. Christopher Walken was Max Shrek, who was the villain in Batman Returns.
Oh, which was Tim Burton. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
and
so
he's
he
like
tried
a
to get
hammy
his friend.
corporate guy. So, I mean, and that's the Willem Dafoe's like an actor turned detective, but
yes,
they're equally like hammy.
Yeah. I definitely could have seen Chris. Maybe he was busy filming Doom 2 or something.
Yeah, Christopher Walken would have fit in this.
It definitely would have fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so that is our trivia for this week. Let's hop into the episode.
Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you what's in the plot, and hear if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun, dun, dun. So this week is, for the last couple episodes, the news been a little light. And then 1 week is going to be like nothing but news. But this week, we're going to talk about DC Lanterns. We got some news for that. We got some more information on Alien Earth, which is a prequel series. Prequel series, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, because it takes place before. A series that's coming out is in the Alien franchise, but it's not connected to Alien Romulus. By the way, you should go see that movie because that's really good. Couple cars in the trailer park, not too full, and then a smile serving a bunch of crunch. So let's start off at the top. So DC's is about to kick off here real soon. The new DCEU James Gunn's universe, as everybody is also calling it, Creature Commandos, comes out first later this year. But a little chatter has come out about the Lantern series, which will feature Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. The sources say, I don't remember exact the source, so sorry about that. But Josh Brolin has been offered the role of Hal Jordan. And if you don't know, Jon Stewart is black. So he's not playing Jon Stewart.
Right. And
people were a little kind of like, I don't know. So he officially, I guess, has not accepted the role, but he's just offered. Matthew McConaughey, Ewan McGregor, Chris Pine, and Timothy Olyphant are also on a short list. I guess if Josh Brolin says no thank you. The series, and we mentioned this before, but the series is going to have 8 episodes. It's going to follow Stewart and Hal Jordan. Stewart will be the new recruit guy. Hal Jordan will be like the older, probably disgruntled Lantern, I'm guessing. And her intergalactic cops investigating a murder in America, like on American soil, Earth soil. But people were like, I'd rather somebody else besides Josh Brolin. I was like, when do we not like Josh Brolin?
I don't like any of these picks.
You don't like nobody.
No.
But not even
Josh Brolin's probably going to take it.
Not even Chris Pine? I don't think Chris Pine's old enough to be
They all seem too old
really?
to be Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan, Bruce Wayne, Superman, Hal Jordan, age-wise, are supposed to feel like contemporaries. Bruce Wayne is supposed to feel older because technically he kind of is. He usually is depicted a little bit older, a little bit more mature. I think they're too old.
Interesting.
I mean, you're gonna have this, and not to be ageist, but
I mean,
you're gonna have
talking about comic book characters.
You're gonna have Josh Brolin standing next to David Cornsweet in the Justice League and say that they're all contemporaries.
Now, are we saying that maybe Hal Jordan's not the main Green Lantern and they're just gonna focus on John Stewart?
So maybe they cast John Stewart's much younger.
Okay. I do wonder who they're gonna get for John.
Because you won't have two Green Lanterns they've both been in the Justice League, but you won't have two Green Lanterns
at the same continuously at the same time.
Right.
I thought Chris Pine was a good pick. He seems
if they're going older, if they're doing like we're giving you an old Hal Jordan because the official Green Lantern will be John Stewart, sure. If that's but if the I don't know, it's just weird, especially
now that you mentioned David. Yeah, David Cornsweet's like what 31.
The whole point of casting David Cornsweet was because they wanted to have a young unknown who would be able to be in the role for 10 years, and Josh Brolin and all of these actors are too old to be.
All of the people in Superman are like the main cast are younger people too. So I didn't even think about that. I think people were doubting Josh Brolin because I guess he doesn't really have like a TV draw in terms of like viewership.
I saw a lot of criticism about this because he's played way too many comic book characters.
Oh, I mean, he's an actor.
I mean, I don't care about that, but that was what a lot of the backlash was. He keeps playing
to act
comic book characters.
Oh no, don't give me no flack for that. I got bills to pay. But my job is acting, so I'm gonna do whatever.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of any of these picks, but he'll probably take it because it's a comic book role. He seems to enjoy them.
He does. He was Thanos.
Hal Jordan is an iconic character.
Right. We don't have any date on when this is coming out, but I am super curious of who is going to play John Stewart. Like now that because I feel like are they going to get like a lesser known John Stewart and a super popular Hal, or are they going to make them equally in turn? I mean, Josh Brolin is pretty popular. I'm trying to think of who they could get that's young, that's on Josh Brolin's popular, like well-known level.
They don't have to be, I guess. Josh Brolin could be the draw.
Interesting.
And then they could cast John Stewart as an unknown, just like they did. Most of the cast of the Superman movie is people
they've been in like
knows.
Stuff, right? Yeah. Not as much stuff. Okay, we'll see. As we learn more, we will bring you the news because that's our job and our duty. Alien Earth. So we knew this series was coming. It's going to be on Hulu /Fox /Disney Plus because Disney Disney owns all of them now. We got a series synopsis. So when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, so this series will take place on Earth, which I believe is a first ever for Alien, the Alien franchise. A young woman, so we still got a woman-led crew, and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat, aka a xenomorph, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It is set 30 years before the first Alien film, which was the year... What year was the first Alien? You know this. Come on, trivia on the spot.
79? Oh.
What play in the movie they were like in the future.
What year did the film take place?
Yeah.
Oh.
2000.
2140 something?
Okay, so
I feel like
they're still going to be in the future, I guess. We'll see. I'm assuming they mean 20 years before the first movie.
I just watched it. It was 21 something. 2122.
Okay. So we'll still be in the quote unquote future.
So we're 100 years away from Doom.
Okay. It's coming to Hulu in 2025, and it's going to be directed by Noah Hawley, who is the creator of the TV show Fargo. So which is very highly regarded.
I also did Legion.
What's Legion?
The Aubrey Plaza X-Men show that was on FX.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, two good things, I guess. Yeah.
So they got somebody good behind this, and I honestly don't remember who's casted in this. I don't think it's very. I think they're.
It
not
is
well-known,
another long cast list of unknown people.
Okay.
I think the only known person I know is Timothy Oliphant.
Right.
And
Timothy go ahead and need to take Green Lantern thing. He already in Terminator Zero.
That's the only name I recognize.
Okay.
Which probably means he's the droid.
Oh yeah. Okay, he's the synthetic in this probably.
Yeah, he's the artificial.
Makes sense. I'm looking forward to this. I think this is probably gonna have a good reception because of Alien Romulus doing so well.
Oh yeah.
And this is the first time Alien has been a TV show instead of just a movie. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
And Earth. So uncharted territories.
Oh, and it's also on Earth.
I guess it'll be the first one that doesn't take place in space.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess we don't know. I guess they could go
Alien
to
3
space.
didn't take place in space.
Okay.
It took place in prison.
Wasn't the prison in space though?
No, it was
on
a
a planet.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Fair enough.
Planet side penitentiary.
Right. So yeah, we're looking forward to this. We'll probably put this on the podcast in terms of, at least watching the first couple episodes. I don't know if it's coming out all at once or they're doing a weekly release, but we will let you know.
Yeah, I'll watch anything Alien.
Yes, you're correct. Anything Alien, anything that's got I like that they're keeping the woman protagonist with a ragtag group. I like that they're keeping that consistent. Yeah. So yes, we're starting off on the right foot.
Excited about the finale, that third act. What if
he's gonna take
the third
a
act is
xenomorph
always wild
and split it into two in front of our eyes?
What if it's like a xenomorph animal? Because it's on Earth. So what if an animal there's a comic book line of aliens, and people have been posting
things that could happen,
xenomorph combinations with things that have shown up in comics, and apparently one is a xenomorph crocodile, and it's on 4 legs.
I could see
and
that.
It looks like a dinosaur.
I was almost say xenomorph dinosaur, but this movie take place too far in the future.
It's close.
They went to Jurassic Park and picked up a dinosaur. Okay. That is it for our news. Let's hop into the trailer park.
Okay, so we got a couple stops in the trailer park this week. Sorry. I keep starting too early.
I'm always going to do my little chin. It don't even matter.
I keep starting too early. The first trailer is for Smile 2. This is the second trailer for a horror film that comes out on October 18th, 2024.
Can I just say I'm so glad we finally got another trailer for this.
Yeah, you had asked for another trailer for this for a while.
I'm not even going to watch this movie because it's too scary for me. But they've been playing this trailer in front of it's like the Speak No Evil, basically, trailer.
Yeah. There's not that many horror movies coming out this year. So
what you mean? We've had 3 horror movies every month since January.
Other than the Wolfman trailer, which we'll get to, there haven't been any other horror trailers put out.
Oh, you mean trailer-wise? Well,
Nosferatu.
Speak No
Evil, Smile. 2 counts, the first one.
And then before that, okay.
They haven't even started playing Never Let Go in theaters.
Long Legs. We got Long Legs quite a bit. No, we didn't. Because every time Long Legs came up, you were like, finally, Long Legs.
Well, this one just looks like additional scenes. Yeah. It still looks good. It follows the same story. We have a new final girl who is the victim of witnessing a suicide, and she has to figure out how to stop the curse before it gets her. She probably won't. We don't have an answer for a while what Kyle Gallner's involvement is, who is the survivor from the first one.
Don't look like he gonna make it.
Don't look like he gonna make it, but he wasn't in this trailer.
No, he was. They switched it up a little bit.
He's the opening kill for sure.
Right. But this trailer does show that it seems like she's gonna try to find a way to stop it, though. Right?
Good luck.
It's given a little Final Destination where they finally got to the point of we tired of dying. We tired of our friends dying. Let's do something about this.
And no, died because you can't stop the curse.
I know, but it sounds like she's gonna at least put an effort towards.
She's gonna try.
She's gonna try real hard.
Why she also a stinger and
dancing like Beyonce.
And then it'll be they'll leave it open for Smile 3.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, she'll be the opening kill.
And I told you, I was like, this plot actually look good, and you was like, don't watch this. And I'm like, I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna just read about it when it's over.
Second stop on the trailer park is for Minecraft. This is another video game adaptation film that is coming out on April 4th, 2025.
This trailer don't look
good.
Don't look good. It don't look good, y'all.
But you know what? To me, it looks the same as the Mario trailer. It looks the same as
it's just not
the Jumanji trailer. It looks the same as the Jungle Cruise trailer.
You mean quality-wise, storyline-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
And entertainment value-wise. We literally saw the trailer for the Sonic movie in front of this film, Beetlejuice, and we were like, it's flashy, got a lot of CGI and good, but it just doesn't look very interesting.
It does not. And we also got the WoW Robot trailer, maybe
right after, which was like, this is...
The stark difference between just story is like... Now,
WoW
why
Robot
y'all
looks so good, as a film and in its animation too.
Yes, in my personal opinion, Wild Robot need to have the hype that Sonic got, because the Sonic trailer was like
beautiful gowns.
Yeah, Shadow comes, Shadow wreak havoc. Sonic and friends defeat Shadow next. But Wild Robot actually, listen, let me not get on the train of dissing Sonic because y'all not about to bash me. But this Minecraft trailer, I don't know why, one, it's not animated, period. Why are we not animating this movie?
Yeah, why do you real people?
Two, why does Jason Momoa hair look like that?
It's gonna be another one of those movies where they just insert random people into the video game world, into
Jet
a video
Black
game world
don't
that
even look like he cared
into a video game world that isn't popularized by its story, and they're going to try to tell some type of storytelling in this film. I don't think it's gonna be good, but it looks fine. Giving some of the Minecraft monster people's skin was an odd choice.
It looks very strange.
Some of the monsters look weird.
The animals look strange.
I don't think they needed a skin texture, but okay.
I didn't get the plot from this trailer.
Well, the whole purpose of Minecraft is there is no plot. It's a video game where you have total autonomy and creative freedom to like build your own world.
So what are they doing in there?
And you craft resources and you mine.
Do whatever.
you mine and you craft.
So this is,
you build a house.
Okay.
You can build a vehicle. You can build a farm. You can agriculture. And then at night, like zombies come out and you have to like defend yourself each night. But during the daytime, it's just adventure.
It's just fun times.
Yeah.
This will either be Borderlands or Mario. I don't know which.
It's going to be more Borderlands.
Because somebody pointed out that this trailer has more views than a Sonic 3 trailer. And I was like, really? Really? But Minecraft's like dumb popular though.
Minecraft is extremely popular.
Maybe the kids will be like, we don't care. It's a Minecraft movie. Let's go. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think this is going to be good, but I also have lost the ability to gauge when movies of this ilk will be successful.
You are
or not,
correct.
I couldn't tell you why like Sonic and Mario make $1 billion other than the fact that people love them. But the movies I don't see as why the movies are so profitable. Because Mario's great, Sonic's great. Their films aren't, but their games are. But I don't see why the people really love their movies.
People were hype about Sonic 3 and I was like,
the characters are great.
We ain't talk about it. I was like, I'm not watching this. Yeah. But Minecraft coming to y'all next spring. Very curious of how this is going to turn out. Box office.
You're going to have to tell us about it.
And reception wise. And this will not be on the podcast.
Last trailer is for Wolfman. This is a film that's coming out January 17th, 2025. This is going to be directed by Lee Winnell. Maker of Saw. Yes. And Hostel franchise, Cheryl's favorite horror franchise.
Never in my life have seen either one of those. But he is also director of Invisible Man, which I've seen bits and pieces of, and I like that.
Yes. So this is another monster movie in the same vein of Invisible Man, because they're both Universal monsters.
But there is not a universe, quote unquote.
No, but they just coincidentally happen to both be Universal monster
they got them
films that he has directed.
Right.
So this movie is supposed to be about a family who takes a vacation cabin trip in the woods, and it turns out that the husband is a wolf and he didn't tell the people, his family.
So he knows he's a wolf.
The synopsis doesn't say whether or not he is turned into a wolf after they get there or whether he was already a wolf prior. But it does say that there is a wolf amongst them.
It's dad.
So it could be the dad or it could be
the trailer is given
a stranger in the forest.
The trailer is given dad.
Because the girls say that, Dad, I'm scared. So it sounds like they're pleading with the dad.
Yes. I feel like this trailer only came out because Universal's Horror Nights is going on right now. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google it. But I think they turned all of Universal Studios into like a horror theme park. Sounds fun. Not for me. Very popular, though. And they had a display or a setup or something with a guy in a Wolfman costume, basically promoting the movie.
He was supposed to be in his prosthetics.
Right. And he looked not very woofy-like.
No, he just like a
And he was getting clowned on social media. And people were like, this is not what Wolfman looks like. This is trash. I can't believe this is what we about to get. And then somebody was like, drop the trailer. They killing us online, y'all. Drop the trailer. But the trailer looks good.
The trailer looks good. It's more like a teaser.
It is.
It's definitely ambiance.
Which I appreciate.
It's definitely them in a forest. It's misty. It's daylight, but
it's very dark.
The forest is so dense you can barely see the sunlight peering through the trees.
Yes.
It's a lot of
It looks like it's gonna be pretty gory.
quick turns between trees to see if something was running past you or not. It does look like it's going to be gory.
Yeah.
Extremely small cast. There's only 4 people listed.
Mom, dad, daughter.
The only clear view you get is a couple shots of Julia Garner. I think she plays the wife.
Oh, I barely noticed that was even her.
Yeah, so the Silver Surfer's in this movie.
Oh, let's see, look at her.
So I think she plays the wife.
Okay.
And Matilda Firth plays the daughter.
Okay. Who is Wolfman?
Christopher Abbott is listed as the lead character in this.
Oh, they're not saying he the wolf.
And they haven't listed him as the Wolfman.
Ain't fooling me.
But they do say that there's a wolf amongst them. He's just named Blake.
Okay, Blake.
There's like 3 other people that are listed in this as well. Die? So probably like extra bodies.
I was going to say, with dinner.
Or sometimes one of the other people, usually in a Wolfman movie, they always introduce a second wolf. Anthony Hopkins was the second wolf.
Oh, okay. So somebody else
this
who
is
knows.
The person who bit me, or something.
Okay,
like that.
Or somebody who knows, who also has the affliction or whatnot. Okay, I'm glad that they dropped this to shut everybody up because they was getting clowned about this movie. But the trailer actually looks good, and I would say this would be a good on the podcast list.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, so that is all the trailers in the trailer park. Let's dive into this Bunch Crunch.
All right, our Bunch Crunch, I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of weak. I was like, this all I got for Bunch Crunch. But here we go. So, Midnight Sun series is coming to Netflix, and if you're wondering what that is, I didn't know either. It is I don't know why they're doing this. It's an animated adaptation that retells the events of Twilight, but through Edward Cullen's perspective. I don't know. I didn't even know. One, we are not Twilight fans, although we have seen all of them. We watched them all back to back to back for some reason one night. And I did.
It's very strange.
I don't know why we did that. Maybe because we can't talk about something we ain't watched, right? Something like that. But I did not know this was a book, and I did not know this was in the works, and I do not know who is going to watch this. I think the Twilight fandom has moved on. Would you agree?
I don't know. It depends on how it depends on if they try to make it like more adult. Interview with the Vampire doesn't have a big audience, but it has a strong audience.
And it's very highly
so I think it
regarded.
has to mature some.
Okay,
I think the young adult era storytelling is over.
Now, do you think they're trying to ride the wave of Interview with the Vampire with this?
Yes.
Okay.
I also think they're trying to ride the wave of
Batman? Because Robert Pattinson?
Harry Potter coming back as a series.
Oh.
Book stuff is coming back.
It's
making it's spinning the block.
Yeah.
And doing its second go around as adaptations.
I don't know why this would even be a book.
Money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Netflix does. It did come out that Netflix be like paying top dollar for stuff to be out other networks. Yeah. And then because Hitman, I can't think, Neon wanted to get Hitman and they only bid like 10 million and Netflix bid like 20 million. And Neon did the math. Like if we would have put this in theater, it would have made more money, but Netflix outbid us. Yeah. So, and they, they felt disappointed by that. So Netflix just be throwing cash at people.
True.
I guess. We'll see. I'm not watching this. Next bit of crunch, we have Oceans 14 is in the works. So, did I miss Oceans 13? And I've seen Oceans 11. I've seen Oceans 12. And I was like, what the heck was Oceans 13 about?
Oceans 11 was Oceans 11.
Yes.
Oceans OG 12
was with when Andy Garcia, right?
And yeah, Al Pacino and Andy Garcia. Andy Garcia was Oceans 2.
Oceans 12 then.
Oceans 12. And then they brought him back again in Oceans 13 because the bad guy was Al Pacino in Oceans 13.
See, this is a sign. We probably don't need this. But anywho, George Clooney and Brad Pitt will reprise their roles. Edward Berger is going to direct this time. So previously these were Steven Soderbergh movies. Edward is from the movie All Quiet on the Western Front. I say from, he directed that movie. And it won an Oscar for Best International Film in 2023.
Yes.
So
like all war films do when they go to the Oscars.
You are not incorrect about that. I do not think we need this. Especially because Wolves is about to come out and there is very little chatter about that. And that is a Brad Pitt, George Clooney special as well. I don't think nostalgia gonna work for this. Unless like everybody else comes back outside of Bernie Mac, rest in peace.
They'll have to go international though. They need to do like a casino that's not
Milan
in Vegas.
or something.
It's not in Vegas because at this point there's no discretion. Any casino owner that sees George Clooney coming knows they're gonna get robbed.
Like, you ain't here for the buffet. Get out of here.
Exactly. So maybe they need to fastify it. They need to the Fast and Furiousification of the Oceans franchise.
Literally, because I think
we're now globetrotting and we're doing casinos around the world.
This is definitely, and I hate to say it, do I? I don't know. Cash grab.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And they trying to ride the wave of like, look, y'all, don't y'all remember George Clooney and Brad Pitt and, you know, the ragtag team? And we're just kind of like,
act.
We did, but we don't. Can you give us something else?
Yeah.
We'll see how Wolves does. And it's only going to be in theater for a week.
It's doing medium. It's like a 70.
Right, because critics have already gotten it. But I don't think it comes out for theaters for like another week.
No, but it's getting a sequel.
Right, which... So they live.
Yeah.
Like, why did y'all not put a little suspense?
Yeah,
in
when
there?
they announced the sequel, I said, "Oh, that rips the tension right out of the film."
They both live.
The stakes are
right.
gone. So
I don't know, y'all. We'll see if this actually makes it. It probably will because it's George Clooney and Brad Pitt. But I don't think we need this. I'm not on board.
Nah, just watch the old ones. Plus, some are dead now, so it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, like you don't have Bertie Mac.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't make it.
Yeah.
Call this something else.
Boo.
Yeah. Anywho, so like I said, our bunch crunch was not super crunchy this week, but that's okay. We'll have a fresh batch next week.
All right, so that is all our movie news, trailer talk, and bunch of crunch for this week. We're going to take a short break, put Lilu away, and then we're going to get into our movie
cutting up,
review.
y'all. This puppy is cutting up. Y'all can't see it or hear her, but yeah, we got to put her away, and then we'll be back.
All right.
This week, we watched Beetlejuice Beetlejuice was released on September 6, 2024. If you didn't know, it is a sequel to the movie Beetlejuice.
Yes.
I mean, some of you might not know that, but if you didn't, now you do. It was directed by Tim Burton, who directed the previous film. He is also known for a billion other things, including Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd, a couple Batman films, and Dumbo, which I don't think he enjoyed directing, which I think he recently said. No. It was like the live action Disney movie. I didn't see Dumbo. It looked weird. Cast and characters include Michael Keaton is back as Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Winona Ryder is Lydia Dietz. We have Catherine O'Hara as Delia Dietz. Did I say that right?
I think it's Delia.
Delia Dietz. New people. So that was basically the same people from the old movie. We also have Jenna Ortega, who's new for this, as Astrid Dietz. Justin Theroux is Rory. Monica Bellucci plays Dolores. Willem Dafoe plays Wolf Jackson. Bern Gorman plays Father Damien. And Danny DeVito makes an appearance.
Yes.
I think that pretty much covers all the important folks in
yeah,
this.
Pretty much.
Next up is the runtime, hour and 44 minutes, which is nice and sweet and to the point. Budget of $100 million, which is significantly larger than the budget of the first movie. Do you want to guess what the budget of the first movie is? I'm just hitting you with trivia all episode. You'll be all right.
Wait, what was the budget of this one again?
$100 million. And the first one came out in 1988, just to
70.
give you some context. Lower.
Is that 68?
15.
Oh, wow.
Million
Well,
yeah.
It would have that many visual effects or the capability to even perform visual effects
I ain't pay nobody
of that capacity. Or pay anybody. That's right.
Right. So pretty big, significant budget. So, I mean, I guess it was $100 million movie.
The visual effects here were good.
Okay. Sure. Box office currently is at 41.5 million opening day. It is projected to do 100 to 110 million domestically for the weekend, which is great.
Yeah.
This is the second biggest opening for a horror film this year, period. And the second biggest opening for September, period. And the movie that holds the number one spots for both of those is It.
This is not a horror movie.
I knew you was gonna say that. I'm sorry. I don't classify these things. This is classified as a horror film.
Boo! This is a family movie.
This is classified, sir, as a horror, dark fantasy horror comedy. You gotta take it up with the peoples. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I did see that. I was kind of like, I don't know if that's fair, but it's
somebody's cooking the books. Fudging the numbers.
It definitely is
book cooking going on.
Yeah, it's kind of like horror, y'all. I mean, we need to have a separate genre for like horror comedy, horror fantasy, horror, not really scary. I don't know
Right.
what you call it, but it still holds the top for both of those. So it is still second. It's still the first highest grossing opening weekend day, and also for September. I did not know that it was so gosh darn popular.
It was extremely popular.
This was a sidebar, but I looked it up and I was like, it was like to get gangbusters.
It was a coming of age movie. It was like Lean on Me, but for
true horror.
True horror. Yes. It was terrifying.
It grossed $702 million at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
It was rated R, and it was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That second one did not do as well.
I heard.
Yeah. Turns out the secret sauce was the children.
Yeah. So, I'll be curious if Beetlejuice tops its like worldwide grossing when it's all said and done. So, ratings wise, Cinema Score is a B+, which is a touch higher than original Beetlejuice, which got a B. Rotten Tomato score, I didn't check yet, so I'm gonna edit this part out because I was like, that's not right.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Hold on.
Let's say they hated it.
No, Beetlejuice has a 77 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and an 84 audience score. Oh, excuse me, popcorn meter on Rotten Tomatoes now. So people are loving it. The B+ aligns with what the critics and the audience are.
Interesting. The first one had a 77.
Audience.
82, sorry. 7 out of 10, not a 77.
Okay.
What was 7 out of 10 average approval rating, but it had an 82% Rotten Tomatoes.
For critics, what did audience put Beetlejuice at? Now I'm curious.
Cinema Score, they gave it a B.
Yes, it got a B, but what was the popcorn meter for the original Beetlejuice?
The audience score was 82.
Okay, so about the same.
So audiences and critics were more aligned for the first Beetlejuice.
Interesting. Okay, so that gives us the details and the facts about Beetlejuice. Can you tell me what the plot was? The plots were. I'm just playing.
Sure.
One of my notes about that, but go ahead.
So the plot of Beetlejuice,
don't forget to say
is that Lydia's daughter, Astrid, who's played by Jenna Ortega, gets into some trouble in the afterworld, in the afterlife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not meaning she's dead, but she does get into some trouble with the afterlife.
Mm-hmm. Which we can pick up from the trailer.
And Lydia has to enlist the help of Beetlejuice to assist with saving her daughter.
Yes.
Also, while Beetlejuice is trying to avoid Monica Bellucci because of their past.
Sure.
Because Monica Bellucci is hunting Beetlejuice too.
Yes. Now, in the trailer, it made it seem like Willem Dafoe and Monica Bellucci were hunting Beetlejuice, but that's not what's happening here.
Yeah, it did kind of make it seem like they were a team, but no. Willem Dafoe plays a detective in the afterlife.
Correct. He is dead.
Yes.
Sorry, that's not a spoiler.
Right.
He looked like it. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about what we liked for this here sequel of Beetlejuice.
Things I liked about the movie, it's more of the first one, which I just saw for the first time this week, and I thought that it was a pretty decent movie.
I don't think it was more than decent.
It was okay. I will admit that I have recency bias, so I watched this with today's eyes and not the eyes that I would have watched it as a child. I didn't have my Tim Burton eyes because I saw
your movie critic eyes was on.
I saw Nightmare Before Christmas when I was a child, and I loved Nightmare Before Christmas. But I don't. Okay, so my issues with the first Beetlejuice, I'll just be very brief with the first Beetlejuice.
Yes.
He didn't show up for like a very long time. I actually took notes when I watched the first Beetlejuice because I felt like it was going to come up.
Now I know Tim Burton's been directing way longer than this person about the name, but it was like the Ty West effect where all his movies nothing pop off for like the first hour. You'd be like, okay, so when the killing started to happen, it's kind of like that. But Beetlejuice. Replace the killer with Beetlejuice.
So I was not aware watching the first Beetlejuice that it was just mostly about Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, and that Winona Ryder and Catherine O'Hara and their dad were just like additional characters, but supporting characters.
Correct. Yes.
Winona Ryder was the only like main character out of the three of them.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So I wasn't I wasn't aware that it was mostly just about Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, but I
Okay.
like that aspect. But it was slow. It was extremely slow. Like the whole first section of the movie is
Yes.
just with Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis living their mundane lives,
I
not
would
having
think-
children, and then they die.
I'm not surprised you think that because I thought this one was a little slow in
Yeah.
the beginning.
And I think that's why I enjoyed this one as much as the first one.
Okay,
Because
equal.
it felt the same. It just felt like an updated version.
It felt familiar.
The first movie, they spent a lot of time with we spent a lot of time in the first movie with only Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis before
Yes.
the Deets move in.
Right.
And they're alone, trying to figure out how to be ghost, and then they get the
Yes.
book by themselves. And
Right.
then they finally go to the underworld, and then it gets fun.
Yes.
Because all the underworld hijinks
And I
stuff.
feel like this movie was similar. Once we get to the underworld, then I was like, all right, now we cooking with grease.
Right. This is kind of my note with the first Beetlejuice.
Okay.
It just takes a while for him to get there.
To get it going.
The things I liked about Beetlejuice 2, I like that it's just like the first one.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just updated. It's more. It's 15 minutes more to be exact, because the first one's an hour and a half. This one's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
Costume
okay.
design is still great.
Yes.
I did like the characters.
Uh-huh.
I did like the cast. I thought the acting was good. The characters that we're supposed to hate, I think they did a really good job at that.
Yeah, agree.
And I like the fact that even though it's a family film, and I don't consider it horror, and they do curse a lot for it to be, this is a family film. This is a family film with a lesson about loving your parents. This is a film about family.
I wouldn't take my kids to see this, but go ahead.
But it's a family film, which
Sure.
is strange. I would find it would be weird to just be a group of adults watching this for every year.
There was a group of adults sitting next to us on your side.
But you know what? The first Beetlejuice was an adult movie
Yeah,
about adults.
right. And
Only one child was in this. This
Exactly.
one felt more about kids because it, had more
Astrid
younger,
and a young kid that she
Astrid
was
and
talking
her
to.
like little subplot.
yeah.
So what I was gonna say was that even though I don't think it's a horror film and it's a family film, I do like the fact that they kept like the special effects a little gross.
This one was grosser than the first one,
Yeah.
for sure.
I like the fact that what I liked about in the first one was when they put on their scary faces and she had like the big teeth mouth and he
With
had
the
like the
long-
big nose. It's
yes.
like, okay, this is freaky and creepy and unsettling and gross. And
Right.
it's cute, but it's nightmare fuel. And I like the fact that they did that here too. Like when
Yes.
he opens up his guts
Pretty
and spills
nasty.
his guts all over the place. That's pretty gross.
Little baby Beetlejuice nasty.
He's always got like juice or ooze coming out of him.
That was a little extra nasty. I was like, I actually don't need
So
that.
I like the fact that they kept it gross.
He did. It's
Yeah.
definitely still Tim Burton.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
I'll
got
do that.
him written all over it. And I guess when you go to a Tim Burton movie, that's what you expect, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
So I like that for sure. For sure.
All right, what did you like?
Set design was cool in terms of I like how they built like the old creepy spooky town. And there's a scene where Jenna Ortega goes riding her bike around it, and she's kind of like trying to get away from the house. That was cool. I also like Catherine O'Hara. I like Catherine O'Hara, Delia the most, which is kind of odd to say.
They turned her character up a little bit when we talked about this.
Yes. So I know Astrid and Lydia and Beetlejuice are supposed to be like the star here, but Catherine O'Hara was my favorite.
Yeah, they bumped her character
in
up.
this. What else? I didn't feel. I guess this is not a like or dislike. There didn't seem to be a ton of callbacks to the first one. Like, I didn't think there were a ton. As from somebody who's just seen the first one, do you feel like there were a lot of tiebacks? I didn't think there were.
Well, the reason it being is because the crux of this film is that there has been a death in the family.
Yes.
Which you're not going to spoil if you haven't figured it out by now.
You should know by the
You should know
trailer.
by now who died. But
Yeah.
there's been a death in the family, so the house is cleaned out because they're
Yeah.
like auctioning the house off.
Right. She's eventually about to put it on sale.
Right. That's why in the trailer it's draped in black, because there's been a death in the family and they're kind of like leaving.
Yeah.
the
She's
house
trying to
behind.
do. Catherine
But
O'Hara's character's trying to do some weird.
she's trying to do some weird
ceremony or whatever.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the house is empty, so all of the trinkets and nods and things that were owned by Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin's character, other than the miniature,
upstairs in the
were
attic,
gone. So
yeah,
all the Easter eggs were missing.
So I would actually say that you could almost watch this one without even having seen the first one.
And they address they address Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin's characters
in a sentence
that takes maybe 0.5 seconds for Winona Ryder to shoot out.
If you didn't know who that was, you would just keep going with the story.
And it never comes back. It never comes back.
Nope. And I don't know if that's a like or dislike. I was just kind of like, there's not very many callbacks here, which is interesting because normally when you do a sequel, especially with such a gap in time, you would think there would be like more Easter eggs. But
I think it would be a dislike for people who loved Beetlejuice 1 because people who love Beetlejuice 1 really, really love Beetlejuice 1.
And they would probably want more of that.
For this one to come out and completely gloss over those characters who were the main characters, I can see how people would dislike that. But I don't think it would matter to people who haven't seen it because they don't give you any information, so you wouldn't know about it.
Exactly. You would just be like, oh.
They barely touch on it.
Who's that? I don't know. Let's keep going. I do like the addition of Astrid. Jenna Ortega, she plays disgruntled teenager.
Angsty, yeah.
She played well. She's not typecasted, but she got disgruntled down on lock. Yes. I will give her that. So she does that good here. I like the dynamic between Lydia, Delia, and Astrid. That's all very good. So all the cast, even with the new members, works well. I was not in love with Rory. I know he's the
that was Justin Theroux's character.
Yeah, I know he's the character we're supposed to not like. Or, he's supposed to be annoying, but I like annoying characters that are funny, I guess. And he was not funny to me in this. He was just flat out annoying. So I'm veering into my dislikes. So I liked the new addition of Astrid. I did not like the addition of Rory.
So I only have one dislike, and that was one of the sequences in the third act. That was the music sequence.
There is and you know what? So I don't think it's a spoiler to say it was Donna Summer's MacArthur Park song, but it's not Donna Summer's. It's a cover.
Yeah, and it was weird because they open up the movie with Donna Summers playing over the credits, MacArthur's Park, which is a great Donna Summer song.
Google it.
But they do the music sequence. So basically, the jump in line music sequence that they have in the first Beetlejuice at the dinner table. They do it again, but they do it with a cover of Donna Summer's MacArthur's Park.
I don't know why they did that.
And it goes on. I don't know who the cover is. The cover is by a guy. It's not as good. It's super slowed down. It's an extended version because MacArthur's Park is like 3 minutes long.
The scene felt like it went on for 5 minutes. So I was like, I agree with you. It was a tad. I was like, okay, I got it.
I think it didn't hit. It didn't hit as hard because, like I said, everybody knows "Jump in Line," the song.
Jump in Line.
That's the name of the song.
Oh,
you don't know the name of the song?
Wait, the Deo song?
Yeah, the Shake Shake Senora song.
Oh no, I was thinking of Deo when you said musical number. So we're thinking of two different musical numbers.
Now, yeah. Okay, so there's two.
Okay, so you're thinking of
the third act musical number in the first Beetlejuice is the Jump in Line.
Got you. Yes.
The dinner sequence one
is Deo.
Okay, that's the one they did with Donna Summer in this one.
Right.
I feel like everybody knows Deo.
Yes.
Not everybody knows MacArthur's Park as their go-to Donna Summer song.
No, Jump in Line more as well.
Yes,
like those two songs.
Those had two more iconic songs, and I do love MacArthur's Park, but I don't think it hits the same for everybody. So
maybe sequence just wasn't as fun. Donna Summer's version. I don't know.
Or use Donna Summer's version because Donna Summer's version is great.
Right, it's Donna Summer's.
Yeah.
So yes, I don't think this musical number hit like the other musical numbers in the previous Beetlejuice. No. So that would be a dislike.
But they did do one. So
they did.
Yeah.
And the other dislike I would have is I feel like the movie plot had too many plot lines.
There were a lot of plot lines.
And when we flip back and forth, made the movie feel jumpy. So we would jump from one scene, from one plot line to the next, and I'd be like, oh, I forgot about such and such. And then we jump to the other one, I'm like, oh, I forgot about such and such.
Yeah,
which is crazy to say for a movie that's only an hour and 45 minutes.
It's a lot of plot lines for an hour and 45 minute movie, and I think what makes it weird is that it's an hour and 45 minute. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of plot lines, but we spend like 80% of it just on the Lydia Astrid underworld Beetlejuice plot line. 80% of it, and we only have like
45
15% for the Monica Bellucci plot. Because we forget every time she
Less.
pops back into the film.
I would say maybe.
And then we have
8
like
minutes.
5% left for the Catherine O'Hara plot line.
Yeah.
Of her doing whatever random
So here's what I
crap
got.
she's doing.
I got and well, you know what? I'll save it because I think how I was gonna break down the plots, but I think that might be spoiler. But yes, I agree. There were a little too many plot lines that made the movie feel jumpy when we went back and forth between the plot lines, and I was just kind of like, I wish we would have stuck to maybe 2.
Yeah.
Just for the hour and 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have shoved the rest of them in like a third one or whatever. So, yeah. Anything else we got for non-spoilery likes and dislikes?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right, so we're going to jump into spoilers in 3, in 2, and 1. So what I was going to say was, so here are the 3 plots that I took down. Dead dad. So Astra's dad is dead.
Yeah, so Lydia got married, had a child
Yep.
off screen, and husband died.
Right, and they were not together when he died.
No.
So that adds to Astra's angst, I think, is the fact that her parents weren't together, so they weren't really like communicating when he died, and she can talk to ghosts, but she can't talk to her dad's ghost, and Astra doesn't believe in ghosts, period. So
Right.
dead dad was one plot line. Dead granddad was another plot line that gets them back to the town. Ghost teen. So Astra meets a boy who, dang, I kind of spoiled that early, but Astra meets a boy. Turns out he's a ghost, but there's more to that later. So that's the third one. Oh, sorry. Fourth plot line will be Monica Bellucci trying to get back to Beetlejuice. There are literally 4 things going on in this movie at the same time.
Yeah, so there's 4 plots.
And we jump, and I'm like, I can't keep up, but I wish we got a little more meat on 2 and then left the other 2 on the table. So the movie opens up with Lydia being a psychic medium.
Mm-hmm.
Or not psychic medium. She's a ghost medium.
Yeah.
And she has her own TV show. And she's basically getting people on the show so she can talk to the ghosts in their house. And her manager / boyfriend is Jason Theroux's character, Roy, who's immediately annoying. And Lydia can still see ghosts, and she's trying to take pills. We don't know what pills. She's trying to take some medication so she can not see the ghosts as much. And Rory's like, no, don't take these. These are going to like dwindle your gift. And I'm like, okay, he's a scammer. I picked that up immediately.
Yeah.
And turns out he is a scammer. And he picked that up immediately.
So Lydia sold out, and she's doing a ghost show in the house that they used to live in. Astrid's issue is that her mom can see ghosts but just can't see her dad, which is the one that she wants her mom to see.
Right.
But she doesn't have an answer for why she can't, and we don't know why either.
You know,
and it's actually not ever explained
just about to
in the
say,
movie.
we don't actually get that explanation of why she can't.
It's never explained in the movie.
Nope.
So they get news that the dad has died.
Yeah.
Charles Dietz, I believe is his name.
Yes.
He has died off screen during a shark attack, and he was mauled by a shark and killed.
Yeah.
So we do get some appearances by because the actor is disgraced but alive, so he's not in the film. But we do get some Charles appearances. Basically, we just get some cameos of his torso with like a big shark bite in it.
So we don't see his face very much
as it navigates through the afterlife. But we
Right.
don't actually get They filmed it. And they made his death that way so that they didn't have to like cast an actual
He wasn't
actor.
needed at all in this. They got somebody else to do his voice.
So
I'm
that's
sure.
what brings the family together is the fact that he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
While they're grieving Charles, Astrid comes across a photo book of Lydia and the dad while they were kids. And we finally get to see glimpses of the dad. He died in Amazon in a boating accident.
Everybody dying by accidents.
They never found his body. I thought it was weird. In the first movie, and this is also where we get explanation of what happened to Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. So basically, Lydia Dietz says they found a loophole so that Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin couldn't move on.
Yeah.
So that's why they're not in the movie in the in-world explanation.
Right.
But I thought it was weird that the dad. The rules in the first Beetlejuice were that you could only haunt the area in which you died in.
Right. Which
so maybe
comes back later
I was like,
movie.
well, maybe they just have to go back to the Amazon to see the dad. Like, why is she?
Why
is it strange that she wouldn't be able to see the dad out here?
When you said that, I was like, oh, maybe he's like his ghost is stuck in the Amazon.
Like you have to go where you're...
Or he moved on, I think.
Yeah, or I assumed he moved on. But
yeah.
Either way, that's where Jenna Ortega first finds out who Beetlejuice is.
Yes.
Because the flyer falls out of the bottom of the
Beetlejuice has
miniature.
been trying to make contact with Lydia over the years. So and there's 2 scenes early in the movie where she's like tweaking and she thinks she sees Beetlejuice coming from like a crowd or whatever. And she's like, she takes the meds to not see ghosts, but she ain't been taking the meds consistently. And she tells Catherine O'Hara, I think I feel him around, but I think I'm starting to see him. And everybody's like, sure, girl, that's not true. And
Beetlejuice mentions that they have like some type of connection.
Right.
I think he's like trying to call out to her or something.
Exactly. But he somehow drops a flyer in the attic, and that's where Astrid first learns of Beetlejuice.
So Lydia fills in Astrid about her daughter, about who never say Beetlejuice. She doesn't really give her details of who Beetlejuice is because she wants to like leave it behind. But she did tell Delia that she had been seeing.
Yeah.
So Delia and Lydia, before Delia and Lydia lock up the basement, she also tells Rory that she's been seeing Beetlejuice because he's interrupting her work. Yeah. He just pops up in the middle of the day. And nobody else can see her and makes her look like she's freaking out. So.
Right. And I guess one thing we should add is that Rory proposes to Lydia at her dad's wake, which is stupid and makes him even more annoying. So he's trying to prep for a wedding and Lydia's like, yeah, whatever. I got something going on right now.
So he doesn't believe that Beetlejuice is real.
Right.
So, which is one of my notes. I thought it was weird that he believed that she can see ghosts, but doesn't believe that she could see or communicate with demons. It's just weird that you would believe one of the two. But that's made clear later on in the film.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I do think that was stupid to be
at that point in the movie. Yes.
Oh, your demons are a figment of your fear and imagination, but you can see spirits and ghosts.
I was like, ghost is ghost. Like, so if you think she has a whole show which he's the producer of talking to ghosts.
It's not just one thing behind the curtain.
But you don't believe the curtain. There's one ghost. And it was also kind of like, well, why would she make it up?
Yeah, anyway, why would she make it up?
He was goofy.
Why should be crazy about this one thing?
Right.
But he says Beetlejuice's names 3 times because he thinks it'll help her break free of her trauma, but it doesn't. It sends them into the miniature. Stupid. And that's where we get our first meeting with Beetlejuice in the miniature. Right. This is not the first time he has popped out of the miniature and joined the real world. Mm-hmm. We have gone to Beetlejuice.
At this point, yes.
And I don't recall this being in the first one. But they basically meet Beetlejuice for a little bit. And I guess if you say home, home, home 3 times, you can get out. Is that new?
Listen, she did that because because Roy says Beetlejuice, like, you don't know he's about to do it. He says, I just want you to break free. And he says it 3 times, like, super fast. Everybody in the audience is like, oh, crap, here we go.
Because the trailer makes you believe the first time Beetlejuice pops up is when Winona Ryder summons him.
Or when we almost think that Astrid says it. Right. Because the way they cut the trailer, she says it like 3 times. But, so you're right. We thought that she was going.
I didn't expect this to happen so early.
Exactly. So they get down there, and I'm like, oh, they're stuck. They're officially stuck. Yeah. They're going to have to enlist other people to come get them out. But then Lydia says home, 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 and I was like, yeah. And they're literally back in the attic, full size. Beetlejuice didn't come back with them, and I was like,
but she only came back with herself.
No, they both came back. Remember, Roy pops up from I guess he maybe passed out. Oh, that's what happened. He passed out, and when he wakes up, he's also in the attic. But Beetlejuice didn't come back with them, and I was like, now how did these logistics
I thought that was
work?
Weird that they introduced that maybe it's only her. Maybe she has the ability because she's special. Maybe she has the ability to jump in and out whenever she wants to. Right. But she says home, 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 and it gets them out very quickly.
Yeah, that
reverses the Beetlejuice spell. Interesting. I thought that was interesting.
Because her mouth is wired shut by Beetlejuice. Because because if you say Beetlejuice 3 times, it sends him back. But she says home, home, home. And I was like, did he know she was going to say home, home, home? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Because if you say, I guess it doesn't work if you say Beetlejuice 3 times and he was already in the miniature.
Right. I don't know.
Because that didn't happen in the first one.
Because my thing was like, where did she have a chance to practice this?
Yeah, that was my thought. Like, how does she know that? Because
this
is only the second time she's been back. So
I
thought that was interesting. They get out, and she tells Delia that Beetlejuice is still around trying to mess with them. So Delia boards up and chains the attic.
Yes.
Because she's like...
Smart.
Yeah.
Delia was... Not only was she funny, she was also smart. Yeah. She like, we ain't got time for this. Chain it up, chain it up, chain it up.
Right. So Jenna Ortega... While she's being angry at Lydia for agreeing to marry Rory, she runs into a random boy. Well, she rides her bike into a fence and through the fence into a tree, and then finds a boy in a treehouse.
Exactly. How cute.
And they hit it off and meet, and he's nice, and he's a fan of Lydia Dietz because she's like a town legend in their town. He's grown up there his whole entire life. Mm-hmm. And instantly I knew something was weird. My first note was,
I didn't catch it at first.
The boy is dead. I knew he was dead.
What triggered you?
When they agree to hang out again, and he says, "Oh, just come by tomorrow. I'll be here." And my first thought was just like, he didn't specify a time.
So like he can't leave.
Yeah, you didn't specify a time, and you just said, "I'll be here." Yeah, you're just gonna be here all day. She went to school today. Yeah, she went to school today.
After work?
It doesn't look like you did, so I thought that he was dead in the beginning.
And you were exactly right.
I didn't think his whole family was dead though.
I didn't think anything about the parents actually. So when she walks into his house, the dad's watching TV and mom's cooking in the kitchen, but we don't see their faces. And when he eventually reveals that he is a ghost, it was like, oh, so I still thought his parents would be alive and they just couldn't see him. Essentially what that was. But that was not the case with said boy. Said boy was actually a murderer.
So Jenna Ortega hits it off with this guy.
Yeah.
And he turns out to be a ghost. And he says, he fell out of a tree and broke his neck.
Right.
And that's how he died, where she met him at the treehouse.
Can I pause here for a second?
Sure.
So when Lydia drops Astrid off to the house for their first date, which I didn't realize was her first date. She says that later. I was like, so you dropped your child off in a town that she ain't grow up in with some random boy who you don't know. Yeah. Didn't like that. Go ahead.
So he basically tells her that there's a way that she can help him get his life back.
Yeah.
So he has a book, the guide for the recently deceased,
which she don't know of, right?
And they read it and they draw the chalk outline on the wall so they can get to the afterlife. And they read an incantation that he tells her that she has to read in order for living people to cross over. So she reads it. They go in. Unfortunately, Lydia is too late to stop them
because she finally catches on
after the real estate agent who's selling their house, who is the little girl from the first movie, grown up with her own daughter, tells her that nobody actually lives in the house that you dropped your daughter off at, because the boy that lived there 23 years ago killed his parents, and then he himself died when the police were trying to apprehend him.
So he told a half truth. He did fall out of a tree and break his neck.
So when Lydia learns the truth, she's on her way to stop Astrid from going. She makes it there just in time to miss her. Right.
And Astrid goes, even though Astrid seems like she's smarter than this, she goes because he promises that she can see her dad. Yeah. So that is her point of like, oh, okay, I at least want to see my dad. Because the girl's like active in like high school and she wants to be like a environmentalist like her dad. So I was like, girl, you smarter than this. But he did the dad ploy. So whatever.
Yeah. So at this point, 3 things are happening. Jen Ortega's going with the boy to the afterlife to get his life back. But in reality, she does not know that the incantation she read is an agreement to exchange souls.
Switcheroo.
So he gets to go back and she stays dead.
She's got to stay on the soul train.
So that's one plot line that's happening. The other plot line is that Lydia has enlisted Beetlejuice to assist her to save her daughter. Yep. So Michael Keaton has shown back up. We're not at the 50-minute mark. This is a note.
And she does say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice to get him to come back. That actually does happen.
That is one of my notes. First appearance is 1 hour in, just like in the first movie. His first appearance in the world, coming out of the miniature, is 1 hour in. Yeah. So consistent. That's plot line number 2.
And you didn't get to the third one that's been going for this whole hour.
4 plot lines. The third one is that Willem Dafoe is investigating Beetlejuice because Monica Bellucci, who is also dead, has reconstructed herself and is hunting Beetlejuice because it turns out the reason we get backstory on Beetlejuice's death, which is Monica Bellucci and Beetlejuice killed each other.
Yeah.
Because
now, did you get that she killed him?
Yeah.
Okay. I got that he killed her, but I didn't catch vice versa.
Yeah. She killed him because she poisoned him with the soul stealing poison.
You're right. Right.
So Monica Bellucci and Beetlejuice met a long time ago.
Yes.
Back
in the plague days.
Eons ago.
Right.
And we get exposition flashback in Spanish from Beetlejuice.
Don't know why.
Basically, Monica Bellucci was a witch. Beetlejuice was poor.
Yeah.
And she needed to marry a human sacrifice. So she married him and poisoned him
because she wanted to suck his soul out.
But before he died, he chopped her up
in pieces.
So
multiple pieces.
They both killed each other, and she's a witch and she's crazy and she thinks his soul belongs to her. So she's hunting Beetlejuice because she still wants his soul. Mm-hmm. And Willem Dafoe is a detective, so he's investigating Beetlejuice.
He's an actor who played a detective.
Dead actor,
yes,
who died because he did all his own stunts.
He was basically like a John McClane. Okay, Tom Cruise. There you go.
Because he said, I did 7 movies. He said he was very anal about making sure that he did his own stunts in all of them. So I was like, this is a Tom Cruise joke. This is Mission Impossible.
His movies were Mission Impossible. You're right. Yep.
He said he did 7 movies and a spinoff. I was like, this is
Tom Cruise.
Mission Impossible. Oh. So, he plays a dead actor turned underworld detective. So he's hunting Monica Bellucci. Mm-hmm. Monica Bellucci is not in the film very much. We just get scenes of her going around asking people where Beetlejuice is and then sucking their souls out.
Now, I will say, I enjoyed Monica Bellucci for her 3 minutes that she was in this total. I was like, she's the only person I can think of who can have staples in her face and be like, she still look good. Yeah. She still look good.
She was good. She just wasn't in it very much.
No.
But that's plotline number 3 that's happening in the background. Uh-huh. And the 4th plotline is Catherine O'Hara being weird with Catherine O'Hara. So Catherine O'Hara, while all of this is happening, she has bought some asp, which are snakes, poisonous snakes, the most poisonous snakes.
Oh, Lord.
They're not even called snakes. They're called asps. From Egypt to perform some type of eternal love ritual that helps guide her loved one's soul to the afterlife after they have passed. And it requires the use of these snakes for a ceremony. Her whole
plot line is honoring the death of Charles, basically. So all throughout the movie, she's like...
Because she's a weird artist.
Yeah, she's like draping the house in black, and she's like, we got to do like a documentary, and she's like... taking fake pictures so she can hang up on the wall of being like scared. She's doing her own thing right now. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a funeral. It's supposed to be like a visual multimedia display of their grief.
She's doing a lot.
Yeah.
And this is also going on while the other 3 plots are also going on. Yes.
So she's in a cemetery performing some love ritual at Charles' grave. Yeah. And she mentions to Astrid earlier in the film that the asp that she bought, she paid extra to have them defanged.
I knew it.
But of course the asps were not defanged.
Of course not. Of course not.
So when she pulls the snakes out of the basket for her ritual, they both bite her in the neck and she dies instantly.
Immediately. Soon as she opens this up, and I was like, these are probably actually still poisonous. Picks them up, Astrid gone.
Yeah. And she dies instantly.
Gone. Like, so a blink, and it was like, wait a minute, is she dead?
Delia is officially dead. And the next time we see her in the afterlife waiting room.
Yeah. And I thought that they were going to bring her back. And no, she stays down there.
Yeah.
Because she goes to look for Charles, who is like, doesn't have a top third of his body. I'm like, this is gross. Because we end up seeing Charles with his half body missing because he's trying to navigate the underworld. So he shows up at the cleaners by mistake. He goes to the waiting room. And he eventually runs into Delia as she's also trying to navigate the underworld. Because she's like, I mean, I guess it's okay that she's like, I'm with my man now, so I don't care that I'm dead. But I was kind of like, dang, I kind of liked her alive. Yeah. But okay, fine.
So we leave Delia for a little bit to get back with Lydia and Astrid. Astrid has finally figured out the wool has been pulled under
the switcheroo.
The guy has told her that he's going to take her life, and she is going to be sent to the great beyond on the soul train.
And he's very nonchalant about it.
He is. He's
kind of like, I don't care.
He's like he's a total like murderous sociopath.
He's annoying too.
So while Astrid is being carted off to the soul train, she coincidentally runs past her dad, who also works at this place
works
where
at immigration.
immigration, that's what it's called. It's immigration,
He
where
don't look too good either.
you do the soul exchanges. So he works at immigration, and
Mm-hmm.
he's dead, and he's got like piranhas all over his body because I assume he died by being eaten by live.
I'm assuming he drowned and they ate him or
Yeah.
something. But it was very convenient. As this chaos is ensuing, she just so happens to run by her dad, and she recognized her dad who got piranhas all over him.
Yeah.
I was like, this writing's kind of, y'all shoehorn this in, but okay, that's fine.
Random note: the Soul Train. I thought it was funny, but too on the nose. So I like racial humor. It's funny.
It's literally
I
my notes.
especially like to like
Hee hee ha ha.
hee hee ha ha black jokes because they're fun. They're funny, especially when they're accurate and they are personally connected to me.
I don't know if I liked it in this.
I think that it was just too on the nose. So the Soul Train was just like
The Soul Train.
just the black people train. I thought that was weird.
It's literally got like, Soul Train is old school. They got
Yeah.
the old school gear. They got the fros. They dancing and doing like a Soul Train line in the middle of the train station. I was like, Tim Burton, really?
Yeah, it was
Soul
just-
Train
it
with
was just
black people?
Too on the nose.
The black conductor, like, get on the Soul Train. I'm like,
It was just too on the nose.
I'm not laughing. I get it, but I'm not laughing.
It could have been executed better, but it was just
Maybe.
it was too on the nose.
Was it
for
too?
me.
It was too solely. I was like, there's too many black people right here. Why are they just standing here at this train? They're not even getting on.
Yeah, they weren't even getting on. They were just dancing around the station.
I was like,
It was funny.
I'm gonna give that a C.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, but I did think it was too on the nose.
It
and
was
just kinda
funny,
like,
and I wasn't expecting it, but it was also kind of like,
Nah.
if this was a black movie, I don't think I would care. But it's Tim Burton. So I'm
It would have
kinda
been
like,
better executed as a sketch, probably with more jokes. But I think the Soul Train itself was supposed to be a joke, and it itself was not funny. Maybe if they had
Okay.
like cameos, maybe if the conductor was somebody,
okay.
or they like told some jokes there.
Yeah.
But it was
This is the
kind of
highest
like,
concentration of black people in the Tim Burton.
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the "Can You Feel a Brand New Day" sequence
Yeah.
in the
was
Wiz.
the Wiz. It was given that.
It felt like the crows shedding and revealing
It-
themselves to be black people.
It did, because like I said, they weren't going nowhere. They
No.
was just dancing at the station. I'm like, people are boarding, but the people dancing are not boarding.
But anyway, she's about to get on the Soul Train, and
Yeah.
Lydia saves her.
Yeah.
And the dad saves them both.
You're right, exactly.
We get a
exactly.
very quick sandworm sequence.
very small. You see it in the trailer.
Yeah, where they
And it's
walk
not
through a
much more than
door and they have to run from the sandworm. It's the exact same sequence from the first one, and
Ish,
they
right.
get saved by getting pulled through a different door.
It was like, budget is $100 million, no more.
The dad saves them. We don't really get any backstory about how he died. He
None.
doesn't really answer it. We don't even really get any scenes with him and Winona Ryder that
It's
talks about their
very-
relationship or their marriage or anything like
The
that.
dad scenes I thought were a little underbaked.
I didn't, for how underbaked and quick they were, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't expect him to show up in the film at all.
I was more surprised that they didn't give Astrid time like alone with her dad, because one of the main reasons she's so mad at Lydia is because she was like, you're supposed to be able to see ghosts, but you can't see my dad. The one, she says he misses her dad. Her and her dad were supposed to visit like the spookiest places on earth, and they didn't get to do that. Like, the girl's missing her dad.
Yeah.
And when she gets to see her dad, they have like a hug and they have like coffee or something, but she don't get like no alone time to say like, I miss you. I wish we could do this and that. Then he does a cool thing where he's like, you guys, he tells them that you can't see me, but I do check up on you guys, and you guys shouldn't be fighting. You guys need each other. So they kind of patch it up that way. But it was like, I mean, she could have got a little bit of time to spend with her dad, but they said 1 hour and 45, no more.
Yeah.
That.
So the dad helps them get back to the real world.
Yes.
And tells them to continue loving on each other.
Don't be mean to each
So
other.
they get back to the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Beetlejuice takes Catherine O'Hara back to the real world because she has summoned Beetlejuice to get out of the waiting room because
Yeah.
she still wants to live.
She was like, can I get like the VIP lounge? She just don't want to be in that waiting room. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost as if she's accepted the fact that she's dead, but she's not trying to live like a commoner in the
Right.
underworld.
So the four of them meet up back at the chapel
Yeah.
because it
there's
is
supposed
now
to be a wedding.
it is now time for Lydia's wedding to Rory.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice is going to crash the wedding. One, because the only reason he agreed to help Lydia is because, once again, she agreed to marry him to save her daughter.
She signed a paperwork.
So Beetlejuice has injected Rory with truth serum. And we find out...
says truth serum on it.
We find out from Rory that it's pretty much indicated throughout the film.
Yes.
He only married. He never believed that she had powers. Nope. He never believed that she could actually see ghosts or communicate with the non-living. He just wanted to marry her for money.
Which I picked up on when she said he met her at a
grieving widows camp or something.
And Catherine O'Hara was like, so he found the best in you when you were at your lowest. I was like,
and he says that. He says he found the grief jackpot, the codependent jackpot when he ran across Winona Ryder.
Right. So. And that was like obvious, predictable. I wish we would have gotten that earlier so he could have got the boot earlier from the movie, because I did not enjoy his character at all in this.
We also get the scene from the trailer of Beetlejuice getting all the guests sucked into their camera phones.
Now, did they get out? Did we establish if they ever get out?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
That's weird. Like they did
we never see them come out of their phones.
They did it, and the phones are still there at the end of the movie.
And nobody asked.
Is somebody gonna check on them?
So
they were
the guests all get sucked into their smartphones, but we don't care about them anyway because they aren't people that they knew. They were people that Rory invited who are just social media influencers.
Influencers all with over 5 million.
Over 5 million followers
each. Yes.
So
he was so annoying. Gosh,
we don't really care about them.
Lord, he was so annoying.
So now that everybody's out the way, Beetlejuice is going to marry Winona Ryder again, or try to force her to.
Same dress.
So
cute.
We get another music sequence, like the dinner sequence in the first one.
Yep.
This is where we get our MacArthur's Park music sequence, where Beetlejuice makes everybody sing and dance around a wedding cake.
A very ugly wedding cake.
To a cover of MacArthur's Park. At the same time, Monica Bellucci and William Dafoe's characters have also arrived at the church.
Which I forgot about Monica again at this point.
William Dafoe's hunting both of them. He's hunting Beetlejuice and Monica Bellucci and Lydia at this point because Beetlejuice broke the law by bringing her into the underworld.
Yes.
And Monica Bellucci is there for Beetlejuice.
He calls them flesh bags.
Yes, he calls the living flesh bags. So Lydia and Astrid use a sandworm.
So Astrid gets a hold of the book.
Yes.
The undead book. And she reads through it very quickly because somehow she has mastered this book in a matter of the last 15 minutes. And she draws a chalk box on the ground and summons a sandworm out of the ground.
Yes. So the sandworm comes out, and just like the first one, it doesn't eat Beetlejuice this time. It eats Monica Bellucci and Justin Theroux.
Yay.
So that's the end of the two of them that we see.
Monica Bellucci's demise is in like 30 seconds.
But they don't have to be dead because that's how they got rid of Beetlejuice in the first one.
Sure.
So we're not exactly sure if they're dead or not. But
they're not. They're underworld, so they're not technically dead.
Justin Theroux is officially dead, though.
Oh yeah. Yes. He's
so
gone.
They have exited the film.
We're good. I'm okay with him being gone.
Beetlejuice has. They blow up Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Well, and then Astrid once again reads this book super fast in 15 minutes and realizes that since Beetlejuice broke the law, the marriage contract is not valid. So
he had to sign the contract in the underworld.
Once again, Lydia is not bound to marry Beetlejuice, which is like, of course, she can't marry that man. He's gross and old and dead.
So she says Beetlejuice 3 times and blows him up.
Poop, poop.
And that is the end of Beetlejuice in the film.
Again.
But we have to say goodbye to Delia for one last time.
I was a little sad, just a touch.
So Willem Dafoe takes Delia back to the underworld, and they have a nice little goodbye where they talk about how the price of her artwork is finally going to go up now.
Right.
That she's dead.
And she seems okay with it, which...
She seems fine. I do like the fact that with these movies, even in the first one, they're sad about dying for a little bit, but then they usually just seem to get over it. Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis' character seem to get over it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I like the fact that she was okay and she wasn't like, please don't take me. I don't want to go. I hate it there. She was just kind of like, I know I'm dead. I'm about to go find my boo, and then I'm just going to live my life.
And they really, really, really hammered home that she really missed Charles and that she loved Charles. So it made sense kind of that she would be
wanted
okay
to be
with
Charles.
Being dead. So
yeah, and I was okay with that.
She dies, and she says she's going to go find Charles and come back and haunt Astrid.
Yeah, that was cute.
Until they beg them to go away.
Yeah.
So the last scene we get with Catherine O'Hara is her meeting Charles Half Torso.
So gross. He looks gross.
At the Soul Train. But they don't get on. It cuts to black before they get on. I thought that was interesting.
They was just amongst the dancers.
So they don't, because he was about to get on and he doesn't.
Because she calls out to him and he gets off and they like hug or embrace or whatever. But you're right. It cuts before they actually go to the
When
soul
she says
train.
we're going to come back and haunt you, I was like, well, you can't do that if you get on the soul train.
You're right.
So
you're right.
maybe they'll stick around for a
maybe
little bit.
Maybe they just in the VIP lounge she was looking for.
They'll stick around for a little bit. And Lydia has given up the show.
Good, which was good. I'm glad she didn't keep it going. Because one thing I did not like about her characterization is that she came off kind of weak. Like, so she had the show, which she didn't seem like she really wanted to do because she was actually kind of tired of seeing ghosts. Mm-hmm. She wasn't standing up to Rory, who was obviously annoying. She seemed like she was trying to repair her relationship with her daughter, and Astrid was talking to her any old type of way. I was like, Lydia, stand up.
Yeah, one note that I had was that this Lydia doesn't seem like the Lydia from the first one. This doesn't seem like the Lydia from the first one will grow up to be this Lydia. And maybe that's different because people change drastically when they go from being children to adults, and especially getting married and have kids of their own.
Yeah.
But I don't believe Lydia 1 would sell out and grow up into be Lydia 2 and be a TV host. Lydia 1 hated people.
Right.
So I don't believe she would be a talk show host.
Exactly.
But she was super protective of the ghost. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that she would grow up and exploit them for money.
Right. Yeah. I didn't like her character. Like you said, acting in this was good. Everybody's good acting. But the characterization of Lydia in this, I didn't love.
She was more the mom from Stranger Things than she was Lydia from
interesting.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Okay. And if you didn't know, she is the mom from Stranger Things.
Yes. So the film ends with a strange sequence that might indicate that it's a third movie coming out.
Tim Burton said he ain't doing a third one.
But it kind of ends. The ending kind of reminds me of the ending of the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
You are exactly right.
So we get
oh my God.
The ending, we get a long dream sequence where we see Lydia taking Astrid to
one of the Dracula's
on one of the trips that they plan with the dad to go to the spooky places.
Castle or something.
Dracula's castle. And Astrid walks past a boy who's dressed up as Dracula outside the attraction.
He's so dreamy looking.
We get a dream sequence where Astrid has married this boy.
Yep.
And then we cut
Cute
to
dress, by the
her giving birth to their first child. Lydia is watching. And the baby that comes out is a ugly Beetlejuice spawn.
Nasty. Now, we seen this ugly Beetlejuice baby earlier in the movie, and it's freaking disgusting. It's disgusting. I hate it. And he's like biting her leg in the
it's got like flies flying around it.
Eyeballs is weird. It's gross.
But it's a nasty Beetlejuice baby. And then Lydia wakes up in bed.
Yeah.
And she sees Beetlejuice laying in bed next to her.
And I was like, did she actually get married to him?
And then she wakes up again.
Right.
And
she's by herself.
So I think it's supposed to plant the seeds that just like she was seeing Beetlejuice, he's still there, like trying to reach out to her.
I guess.
So I think they're leaving it open to do a third one. Beetlejuice.
Tim Burton said that, that would make sense to title it. Tim Burton said that it took me 30 years to do the second one. If it took me another 30 years, I would be 100. So I don't think that's gonna work. And I'm like, Tim Burton. You think they would make a Beetlejuice without Tim?
Absolutely do.
Really?
Absolutely do. I don't think there is a single property that will not outlive its creator.
We are talking Warner Brothers.
Yes.
So they would definitely be like, oh, so you don't want to do it?
There's not a single creator in existence
Sam Raimi,
that will
are
outlive
you free?
their
No, I'm just
property.
playing.
So
interesting.
Especially when it comes to film.
And this is going to do gangbusters at the box office.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't put it
and
past
they called it
them.
Beetlejuice. The way to get rid of him and to summon him is say his name 3 times. They're going to do it.
So you think they'll do it, but if Tim ain't on board, they're going to be like, okay, don't worry. We'll find somebody else.
They're going to be like, we will send you a invitation to the premiere.
Okay. The ending dream sequence was kind of weird.
It was weird.
I didn't feel like it was needed. To be honest, they could have ended it with them going to the castle, and then, Astrid is going to go visit the places that she wanted to with her dad, and Lydia and Astrid have repaired their relationship. End of movie. Mm-hmm. I didn't really need that extra.
It was weird.
It was strange. And then it just goes off, and we're like, oh, okay, we're done. Okay, fine.
All right. Any random notes?
Let's see. What do I have? I think we hit on everything that I had.
Mine was that Tim Burton loves detachable women. Because just like Sally and Nightmare Before Christmas, I almost called her Catherine Zeta-Jones. Monica Bellucci. Monica Bellucci is kind of just like Sally. She's another
in a lot of pieces.
Build-A-Woman, except for sewing herself together with needle and thread. She uses a staple gun. So
fun fact, I don't know if he cast, according to IMDb, they got into a relationship when they started filming this movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he didn't cast her just because they were dating, it sounds like. But I mean, it's Monica Bellucci, so put her in anything. I don't care.
I like the miniature transition shots when they're transitioning from the miniature to the town.
Real life, yes.
When they're doing overview shots.
You couldn't really tell.
And you can't tell until like cars start moving or something, or people start moving. Then you're like, oh, okay. Or all of a sudden the grass will look real and then it'll pan across like a cow toy. Right. It's like, okay, so this is now.
Or the house look a little too small.
Yeah.
Like, that can't be no real house. I don't actually think I have. I think I went through all of mine.
And I think that's all my notes.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite line or scene?
Favorite scene is going to have to be, so Lydia has a coping mechanism when she sees a ghost, and she does this like breathing exercise, technique. But she's doing it, and she comes out of the house after she sees Beetlejuice, after they come back from seeing Beetlejuice. So she's coming out of the house, she's doing this weird breathing exercises, and it sounds real creepy.
Yeah. And
Delia turns around like, oh my God, I thought it was a moose, because I'm not about to imitate what she about to do, because y'all ain't gonna have me crazy on tape. But that was hilarious, and it just added to the fact that Delia was funny through this whole movie.
I love the scene when they finally catch the guy who was trying to switch his soul with Jenna Ortega's.
Oh, okay.
And they get all the way back to immigration, or they get all the way to departures.
Yep.
And he's about to get his passport stamped so he can go back. And they stamp it. They think they're too late.
Yes.
The dad says, "Don't stamp that passport," but the attendant stamps it, and it's too late. And then he looks up, and it's Beetlejuice, and he's stamped out of luck on the passport, and pulls the lever and sends him to hell.
I did
love that part.
I did. And you know what? Even though there were a lot of plot lines in this, they did wrap them up pretty tightly. Like once the boy goes down,
it was very quick.
Right. Once he go to the pit, that's it. He done.
He was gone.
Once Monica Bellucci get eaten by the sandworm, that's it. It's done. So they were like, here's 5 plots, and now they're all done. Congratulations. You've done this in 1 hour and 45 minutes.
All right. Final word about the movie and our rating.
I will say that I think I liked the first one better. This one was okay. There were a lot of things that I liked, and there were a lot of things I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird. So I'm going to give it 3 Nicole Kidmans.
I like them equally.
Okay.
I may watch this one again. Okay. Maybe. I don't think I'll ever go back and watch the first one. Yeah. Only because this one to me felt so similar to the first one, minus just like 2 characters.
Okay.
But the core themes and everything of the movie were there. It just felt like some more of the original.
Okay.
So I will give it a 4. Oh. Yeah, I'll give it a 4. Okay. I would only take off for some of the jokes weren't as funny. Yeah,
to be honest, I think Catherine O'Hara's jokes was the only ones that were funny.
Yeah, some of the jokes weren't as funny. And I don't think the music sequence, which was a strong part of the first one, was as strong in this one.
I would take 2 off. 1, not just for that musical sequence, but anytime Beetlejuice started singing, didn't like it.
No.
Wasn't a fan of that. Wasn't a fan of the exposition in Spanish. Some of the plot lines, there were too many plot lines for me, so I would take off another one for that. I wish we would have just killed 2 and kept 2 and just added more meat to those 2.
But it looked good. My fear seeing this movie after watching the first one was that because the first one, everything was so practical and just kind of in kind of like the era of like The Mask a little bit, where everything was so practical and colorful and real. I didn't think they were I thought they were gonna over CGI it in this one, and it wasn't gonna look as good. But it looked good, especially the afterlife. It still looked, the sets still looked good. The house still looked good.
Even the sandworm scene, which in the trailer I was like, oh, is this gonna fit in this like 2024? It did.
Nothing looked super fake.
Right.
So
Tim Burton has been able to transition his aesthetic throughout the years and then not look outdated.
Yes,
exactly.
Kept it modern, and I did like that aspect.
Yes, I would
I'll
agree.
give it a 4.
I would agree. It did look good.
Okay, so that is our review of Beetlejuice. Go check it out and tell us your thoughts.
Yeah.
What are we watching next week?
We are going to see Autobots roll out. That's right?
Transformers Uno.
You know what I almost said? Avengers Assemble. And I was like, that don't feel right. That don't feel like that's what I'm supposed to say. We're going to see an early screening of Transformers 1, which has been getting
great reviews.
Listen, if y'all are lying to us and this movie is not as good, I'm going to personally tweet every single one of you, because I've been seeing best of the franchise, back to the basics. Everybody's
Chris Hemsworth is Optimus Prime.
Listen.
As if
That's a big thing
the
to say.
original voice actor of Optimus Prime is dead and gone and forgotten.
I am a Chris Hemsworth fan.
Yeah.
But y'all better be right. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Because if not, y'all gonna hear it on
That's
the podcast.
like getting a new voice actor for Darth Vader and he's really good. And being like, this person is Darth Vader. And James Earl Jones is literally like,
not just Jay, all of us would be like, come on now.
Excuse me.
Come on. So and if you guys didn't know, it is an animated show. It's an animated movie. So kids movie. I do think they say,
I think it's family, not kids.
Okay, there's gonna say, because in the trailer somebody says like hell or something. I was like, wait a second now. This ain't fucking.
I think it's a family movie.
It's a family movie. I'm excited to see it though. Based on all of the reviews, there is one particular person I follow on Twitter who also liked it. You know, some people's opinions you like, oh, okay, whatever. But some people you trust a little more than others. He also said it was good. And I was like, okay, I will see. But yes, we will be checking that out next episode.
All right. Thanks for listening. If you like our show, please share it. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcast or on our website, www.vaguelynerdypodcast.com, where you can leave us a voice message if it's nice.
That'll be.
And we will play it on the show.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Twitter at vaguelynerdypod or IG at vaguelynerdypodcast. And you can reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com.
And if you are listening to this on your favorite podcast app, you can watch our animated version on the YouTube.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.